Okay, today in the hive inspection, we're going to go over the 3 simple steps to easily find a queen. Number 1, start from the side. I'll explain why. Number 2, look for sign first. And number 3, scan for her movement and mark. And we'll walk through why those are the 3 easiest, simplest steps to easily find the queen. We want to start from the outside. I don't think for a hive inspection generally you need to start from the outside. I think you can start from the middle. But if you are looking to find the queen specifically, it's smart to start from the outside, because generally, unless you run a single brood box chamber, the queen's going to be in the middle, and by pulling the middle frames first, you risk rolling the queen, and by starting on the outside, you give yourself space. That's why I put that as step 1 to easily finding a queen. So we'll pull that first frame out, and maybe we find her on that first frame, because this is a single brood chamber, but if not, we remove this frame, and it creates some space. So let's slowly remove the frame. Okay, so step number 2 is to look for sign of the queen. Now, there is brood all over, so we've got a nice brood pattern right here. You can see that. So the queen is clearly laying throughout the box, not just in the middle. Same on this side. And the reason why we're watching carefully for sign of the queen is because where there's sign, there the queen is. So if this initial frame were just nectar or pollen or honey, the chances of the queen being on that frame are really low. Okay, so we finished the scanning the first frame, and now the queen's not there, so we're going to remove that frame, move it out of the way. And what that does for us now is it gives us a little more space to work, so we don't risk damaging the queen and certainly other bees as well by pulling the frame a little bit away from the rest of the frames. I don't see the queen on here, but we have great signs of the queen with the brood and eggs and larvae. Now let's talk about that third step. The queen moves differently. So I said watch for a scan for movement. The queen moves more deliberately, and another sign of the queen is as she's moving, she typically has a little entourage of worker bees with her, attendants following her around. And where most worker bees are working in one little area or moving around just a little bit in circles in that area, the queen moves in a straight line quickly from cell to cell, looking in the cells, looking for space. Now, one of the things that you're scanning for on that step 3 is not just her movement, but also her shape and her size. The queen is longer. She has a longer abdomen, and you'll learn to recognize the color of the queen. A lot of queens will be like a golden color, a golden brown. Some will be striped with black stripes or just black on the abdomen. And so you're watching for the movement and the shape of the queen. And then finally, if you've marked her, then you're looking for the color of the mark. In my case, this queen should be blue. Okay, so if we jump back to step 2, the sign of the queen, different sign, what we've got in here on this frame is larvae and eggs. Not a lot of brood, but I do see larvae and eggs in these cells. Okay, I feel like we're getting closer. Not just process of elimination, but also lots of fresh eggs on that frame. Okay, there she is. Okay, so we found her, and she did happen to be in the middle of the box, which is not unexpected. And on this frame, there were a lot of fresh eggs on the other side, and when I flipped it, we saw her immediately. Now notice the size of her body. She's got the bigger abdomen. She's got this entourage following her. See how they're just following her? And notice how her movement is different. Watch how she likes to walk in a straight line. She pokes her head into the cells. Look, look at her poking her head into that cell. Walking by there. Now what she's looking for are those eggs. And it is hilarious how the bees move out of her way and how this entourage just follows her. Look how they're just following her. And she's poking her head. She got her head clear down into that cell, and now she's laying an egg. So she just moves differently. Now it's kind of fun then. She's poking her head in there. This is so fun to watch. Laying another egg. This is so cool that we can see this. This is so neat. So you're seeing, now poking her head clear into the cell. 2 cells, 3 cells, 4 cells. Walking by, looking, being very deliberate. Her purpose is to lay eggs. She's got the bees following her. And that is so neat. Before we end this video, I want to go over some of the tips and tricks that fit within those steps that make it easier to find the queen. So you'll notice that I try to put the sun at my back. So if the sun's at my back, then it's easier to see inside of the cells and see the eggs that are oftentimes, especially if you're just starting, they're oftentimes hard to see, new fresh eggs. So I like the sun at my back. That's a trick that works well. Number 2, another tip is to move slowly and use smoke. Sometimes you can get into the hives and it's chaotic. And when it's chaotic and there's bees everywhere and they're acting irrationally, she's laying an egg right there. It's really hard to find the queen. So if you can use smoke, little bits of smoke, keep them calm, and move slowly, that's going to help. So the queen does not want to be found. She does not want to be... Hold on, let me find her. I might just to prove my point that I was about to make. Okay, the final tip that I'll give you actually was manifested right there while you do it. So the queen barreled off the edge and went inside one of the other frames. And so always, while you're looking for the queen, keep your frame, as you're rotating it, as you're inspecting it, over the top of the box. Because if she jumps off, if she falls off, if she flies off, where do we want her to go? Right here. And if you move her away from the box and she falls off, then maybe you see it and you're lucky and you can get her back, but maybe not. So if she falls off, you want her in the box. So, and then the final point is, everybody knows this, you're not always going to find the queen. I just gave you the 3 simplest steps to find the queen. It's going to work most of the time, but it doesn't always go that way. And so the final thing is, like, if you don't find the queen, it's okay. Look for a sign of the queen. Find the eggs, that's good enough. It's fun to find the queen, but you don't always need to. Okay, everybody, if you like this video, if it's helpful to you, like and subscribe. Thank you.